Do you want to make some serious income? Have you ever thought of owning an Airbnb or VRBO? Do you want to know more about these? My husband and I have owned and operated short-term vacation rentals for 15 years, and I'm going to share with you some great information. Most of these tips we had to learn the hard way. Stay tuned. Are you thinking about buying a home and making it a short-term vacation rental here in the Palm Springs area? Many cities in the Coachella Valley have cracked down pretty hard on doing short-term vacation rentals. Cathedral City is eliminating all non-HOA vacation rentals by January 2023. The City of Palm Desert and Rancho Mirage are reviewing their short-term vacation rental policies to the point where they may not allow any more short-term vacation rentals in their cities. The City of La Quinta has extended their moratorium for new short-term vacation rental permits. Palm Springs is allowing short-term rentals. Palm Springs has figured out a great system for hosts and guests alike, and hopefully the other cities in Coachella Valley will follow suit. I believe more and more people want to stay in an Airbnb these days. They have the comforts of a home and they are much more private and relaxing than a hotel. What makes a good short-term vacation rental, you ask? Location, location, location. There are approximately 1 million tourists that stay in hotels in Palm Springs annually, and 600,000 visitors stay in non-hotel accommodations. Palm Springs weather is no doubt why visitors are attracted to the area, with about 300 plus days of sunshine. Palm Springs is a vacation destination with 4 different mountain ranges surrounding the great city. The city is just a 3-hour getaway from San Diego and a 2-hour drive from Los Angeles, making it a very popular getaway as well as a place for snowbirds to flock to. Hi, I'm Kim Block. I've helped several people just like you find and buy properties here in the Palm Springs area to be used as Airbnbs. In fact, Neil Nussbaum and I just closed escrow on one here in the Palm Springs area. Let me show it to you. Okay. Here are some great reasons to buy a short-term vacation rental here in the greater Palm Springs area. Palm Springs is known for its golf courses, mid-century modern style, and the warm weather. There are so many things to do in Palm Springs, like shopping, dining, touring the many art museums, and of course, exploring the desert, mountains, and canyons. If you are a sports enthusiast, there are many hiking and biking trails, along with pickleball and tennis court. Many snowbirds from parts of North America come down in the months of November through March to warm up and get away from their freezing cold temperatures and love to bask in our beautifully warm weather. Palm Springs has an incredible lineup of Hollywood celebrities each January during the annual Palm Springs Film Festival. During February's Modernism Week, architecture and design fans from around the world flock to the area. The city fills up in April during the Coachella and Stagecoach Music Festivals, which are held in Indio just about 30 minutes from downtown Palm Springs. Another attraction that brings people here from all around the world is the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. This tramway has the world's largest rotating aerial tram cars. During the summer months, it's a great way to cool off, as it sometimes is about 30 to 40 degrees lower than the desert floor, which can be a big treat during our summer months here. The cars are suspended from cables, much like a ski lift. The views from the top, looking out over the desert, are just beautiful. The elevation is 8,500 feet, and it takes about 10 minutes to get to the top. There are 2 restaurants once you get up to the top and observation decks, along with 50 miles of hiking trails. During the winter months, you can even find snow. It's such a pretty sight to see the snow-topped mountains from the desert floor. Sunnyland Center and Gardens has been a popular place to visit for decades by presidents. This was the former winter retreat for the wealthy Annenberg family. 12 acres have been dedicated to the public gardens and a visitor center with a rotating selection of artwork from the Annenberg collection. Tours of the mansion are available, but they do sell out months in advance. Another popular activity that tourists come to see is Tahquitz Canyon. Have you ever thought that there'd be flowing water in the middle of the desert? This is a 2-mile loop that leads to a 50-foot waterfall tucked back into the canyon. You will need to pay an admission fee of $12.50 because it is located within the Agua Caliente band of the Cahuilla Indian Reservation. You can go on your own, or you can do a ranger-led hike. Many visitors who stay in Palm Springs will also head to Joshua Tree for the day. Joshua Tree is under an hour's drive to get there and a lot of fun stops along the way. The two distinct desert ecosystems, the Mojave and the Colorado, come together in Joshua Tree, a fun place to see fascinating animals and plants. Joshua Tree is also a great place to hike and some surreal geologic features that will make you awestruck. Tourists flock to Palm Canyon Drive. This is home to the Palm Springs Walk of Stars. The street is lined with beautiful palm trees and twinkling lights. You can find art galleries, restaurants, pubs, historical buildings, and every kind of shop you could imagine. This is also where Village Fest is held. Another really fun attraction that guests love to see is the Palm Springs Air Museum. This museum has a large collection of military aircraft, many of which still fly. They have planes for World War II, along with Korean and Vietnam Wars that are represented. They have docents who provide tours. Most of the veterans themselves have had a personal connection to the types of aircraft that they talk about. Many golf enthusiasts flock here to the desert also to perfect their game of golf. In the Coachella Valley, we have over 100 championship level golf courses. Many of the best courses are public, but there can be long wait lists, so you do need to plan ahead. La Quinta's PGA West is home to the American Express Desert Classic, formerly known as the Bob Hope Classic, which brings in many out-of-towners. Some of the other popular courses are the Indian Wells Golf Resort, Marriott Shadow Ridge, and Indian Canyons Golf Resort. Tourists and locals love to go to the Village Fest in Palm Springs, which is held on Thursday evenings year-round in downtown. More than 180 vendors set up along the city's main street, which turns into a giant street party. It is a super fun evening out where you can try some tasty snacks and local restaurants and shop for jewelry, art, and trinkets. As you walk around, you can enjoy musical performers and street artists. Okay, now that we have discussed what makes this area a perfect location for Airbnbs, let's get more into what you really want to look at when purchasing a vacation rental. So pretty much everything starts with an attractive location like our Palm Springs area. It's great to find one that is close to downtown or near a place where the major events happen, like Palm Springs. There are some great heat map sites that can provide you with some insight into what potential visitors think and what are the most popular locations. But keep in mind that the higher the occupancy rates are, the higher nightly rate you will receive. Always check with the city's rules on how many guests are allowed. Typically, it is determined on how many bedrooms a property has. Before buying a short-term vacation rental property to rent out, always find out what the local regulations are so you don't have any surprises. If you fail to comply with the laws, you may pay some huge fines. There are many platforms like Airbnb and VRBO, also known as Vrbo. Learn the details on how they work. My husband and I have 2 short-term vacation rental properties, and we use both of the platforms. I feel that some people use only Airbnb and some only VRBO, and I want to capture both audiences. There are small fees that hosts pay, which of course this is something to add to the expense of running a business. If you don't plan on managing the property yourself, do look into a property management company and their fees. There are companies like Turnkey that pretty much do everything. They can even handle the booking so you can be completely hands-free. Figure out your budget before buying a property, and do keep in mind not only the purchase price of the property, but also other expenses like closing costs, inspections, insurance, and property tax. Consider the expenses to get the property Airbnb ready. Once you have established your budget, it's time to hit the housing market. I have helped many people with finding their short-term vacation rental properties here in our beautiful desert. I've been doing short-term vacation rentals for about 14 years now, so feel free to reach out. I would be so happy to get you started on your home search right away and guide you in the right direction. Apart from finding the best location, you also need to consider the property's condition. It's always a plus if you can find a turnkey, ready-to-go property. One property that my husband and I purchased was a prior short-term vacation rental, and it was ready to go. It was a godsend. If you aren't as lucky, figure out what it needs as far as repairs and furnishings. There are other costs that you can expect. There are some one-time and also reoccurring expenses to consider, such as buying new furniture, appliances, devices, digital entry systems, and security cameras. You do need to supply pantry staples, towels, and toiletries. There are many consignment stores here in our valley that have amazing prices, and the furniture looks brand new. That would help your budget a lot. When shopping for furniture and knickknacks, do make sure to decorate in style. You want your place to stand out and look better than your competition. You will need to have Wi-Fi and other premium services. You will have the cost of cleaning services, utility bills for electricity and heating. Paying for a pool service and also a gardener is something to add to your expenses. It's crucial to know your expenses as accurately as possible to optimize your cash flow. If you want your short-term vacation property to be profitable, I suggest once you have found where it is you want to purchase, go on Airbnb and find homes near the one you're looking at and see what they charge per night. Make sure it's in the same location and has the same number of bedrooms and bathrooms. If you want to take off quickly, you can go a little lower on your nightly rates than your competitors and then adjust your price accordingly once you start to get bookings and those wonderful 5-star reviews. The company Airdna will help you determine what kind of income you can make yearly. For newbies, you can also use the Airbnb Profit Calculator. This tool will take into account the expenses, occupancy rate in the neighborhood, and other variables to help identify the right price and optimize your earnings. Again, I feel listing your accommodations on many platforms can help maximize your profits as well. Property investors have the ability to earn a lot of money, but only if they do their research ahead and make smart moves. Make sure you choose correctly and do all your research. It can be very profitable if you pick wisely and maximize the earning potential of running your short-term vacation rental. It is important to align yourself with a good business team, your realtor, accountant for tax questions, and a vacation management property manager. You will want the best advice on the income potential and due diligence required for a home you are considering purchasing and renting a Palm Springs vacation rental. If you have questions about Airbnbs or short-term vacation rentals in the Palm Springs area, just call, email, or text me. If you're thinking about moving to the Palm Springs area, buying or selling a home here, be sure to get in touch with me. So here we are in Palm Springs at a property that fellow agent Neil Nussbaum and I just closed on for some clients of ours. They are going to be using this as a short-term vacation rental property.
And Kim and I have just done a video on my channel about how to buy a short-term vacation rental in Palm Springs. And you can watch it right now, right here.